So it begins. Leaked pictures of the 2021 drivers are finally hitting social media, and it'd be no surprise that I'm not going to review a single one of them this year, as I don't want to waste 10 to 15 minutes of your life telling you it's exactly the same as last year's. That being said, what I am interested in is how is this going to affect last year's models, the prices, which is the most undervalued, underrated and great bargain for you to put in your bag now all the new stuff is out to sea. Let's get into it. You can pick up a speed zone for the same price as the F9. Wow, £164. Just a head. No, you got a shaft with it as well. Guys, how are you doing? Welcome back to a brand new video. Simon here, been out teaching this morning, first morning teaching since lockdown. Very grateful to be out in the fresh air, coaching again. 2021 drivers, I've had a few messages. What are my thoughts? Which ones do I think look the best, can perform the best? Whatever, I don't really want to talk about them that much, to be honest. I'll show you the pictures. I'd love to hear your thoughts on the aesthetics, because at the end of the day, it's kind of what new drivers are. It's just a beauty contest. And let's see what they've done to affect the market on the second-hand side of it. Will the prices crash for all of last year's golf clubs, or will they stay just similar because there's just not that much stock of them out there because manufacturers haven't been able to produce it? A lot of lead times on custom fits at the moment. If you were to get fitted today, you won't get that club till February, which is when they're going to release all the new stuff. So it begs the question, is it worth getting a fitting now or waiting when you get to see all the new shiny things? I have also got one underrated, undervalued driver at the end of this video that no one's really looking at for whatever reason. I know a lot of you go put in the comment section, Simon, why did you say that? You're going to inflate all the prices. I apologise. I've been doing these videos for 2 years. We're getting to a point now that potentially we are affecting the market and we do raise the price of some clubs when I mention them. I can only apologise, but at the same time I do feel I'm benefiting and helping a lot of you guys to just understand it's not the club, or it's not the specific one I'm talking about. It's more about the technique and eye and just general awareness of seeing what's underrated and what's overrated, and it all kind of comes down to price, which obviously I'll show you at the end of this video. So let's get straight into the big dog, Taylormade Sim 2, and how is it going to affect this sim. Now the irony of all of this is that I will review the Sim 2, and I will review the Callaway Epic Max, and I will review the Rad Speed in about a year when they drop 50 to 40% of their value, and then I can rate it against other clubs in the market when they're £20 difference from each other or £50 difference from each other. For me, the reason I can't be bothered to test any clubs that come out this year is because there's no club, or there's going to be no driver that's produced that warrants another £200 extra value. The fitting, however, which is extremely important, the fitting of that club could be worth £200. So if you go and get one of these drivers, go and get a new driver. By all means, please, get fitted for one from someone that knows what they're talking about. Do your research. If you have to travel 2-3 hours to get a proper club fit, that is going to be your value for a new driver. The technology, the different shafts, that really doesn't make a slightest bit of difference unless the person that's putting it in your hand knows what they're talking about. Now I'm going to talk about the drivers. Right, Taylormade Sim driver. I thought the Sim did incredibly well this year. I actually rated it above the Cobra's Speed Zone in terms of aesthetics and sound at the start of the year. I think that was the last brand new review that I'd done on the channel. And it's holding its price, $289. You've got to remember the Sim and the Sim Max came out this year, $399 and $349. Therefore, these prices, or the prices where they are at the moment, haven't really dropped that much compared to normally where it is. Normally, like the M5 was at $450, dropped down to $250, $240, $230. The M3 at the start of this year, before all of this happened, was at £120. Now, everything's gone up. You could have had your old Callaway Razor fit and it's now worth £120. By the start of the year, Callaway, or I should say Taylormade stuff, dropped off the shelf. Taylormade in terms of second-hand market has been incredibly popular because people look to join the game and they go, what should I buy? And they know the name Taylormade because the best players in the world use Taylormade. You can see a few here. This was a few days ago, £329, Sim Max. That is quite close to retail price. So I personally would stay away from Taylormade stuff in general in the second-hand market. You're not going to snap up a good deal. Again, for £200, £300, you should go and get just fitted for another club altogether, because you're going to see a benefit. But it's been good. It's nice to see that Taylormade, especially the Sim, has done well, even though it hasn't necessarily been the best year to get out, test, try and club fit for it. Callaway Epic Flash. Now, any manufacturer that brings out a club 3 times, you know it's good. They found a recipe. The people like it, the sound, the feel, whatever. Begs the question, go and buy the original, which is the Callaway Epic Great Big Bertha. Unbelievable driver. You get the right loft and shaft in that head, it will perform as well as anything that comes out this year. And as you can see, you can get one for about 160 to 150 pounds. The start of the year, you could pick these up for like 120, 140 in really good condition. But again, prices are all inflated. Epic Flash driver head, pre-owned. Is this the most recent? Is that a fairway? Wow, 164 pounds. Just the head. No, you got a shaft with it as well. That is crazy. Someone's picked an absolute deal there. Right, we've got a few 3-woods. Epic Flash driver. Again, 9-degree driver, stiff, 178 pounds. I swear when I was doing my research for this video, these weren't popping up. Right, well, that being said, don't bother buying the original, buy the Epic Flash, because you can definitely get some good deals here. The only reason that I'd say buy the newer one is because it's probably had less wear and tear. It's going to be less old. Like if you find an Epic one in the wrapper, then by all means choose between the 2 of them. But if you can pick up a deal like that's seriously cheap. That's scary. These, by the way, these are also being sold before the pictures of the new Epic have been released as well. So I'm very interested to see how cheap, like even there, golf clubs for cash who definitely aren't the cheapest, but they've got a lot of reputation, and you know it's going to be from a decent company. 299, which is £150 off the price label, looks in good condition. So there we go. Actually, from what I was going to say, the Epic Flash, I think it's a very good driver, and if you can find one around the £200 mark, £220 mark, I think you've got a great steal, considering where the market is and people are buying any driver for £150 at the moment. I personally would go up another 50 quid to get the Epic Flash. I wouldn't go up another 250 quid to get a 2021, but for 2020 or 2019, I think it was, when it came out, it's interesting how much the market, or these are bids here, no one wanted to spend more than 100 or 200 pounds on this driver. I mean, the guy could have put some more stuff in the description that might have helped his cause. But that's interesting to see. Okay, I'm going to put it up there. If you want a decent 2020 driver, I wouldn't look past the Epic Flash at this point. So let's go into the bad boy market of the Speed Zone and the Speed Back and the Rad Speed. We can't see the Rad Speed prices. Speed Zone driver. Here's something really interesting. I bet you can get, again, surely someone has not sold that for 150 quid. 150, that is an absolute steal. Here's me about to go overrated for the second-hand market. £250. Okay, so again, this is the interesting thing. I know it's a bit newer than the Epic Flash. Epic Flash was retailed at £449, and retail really doesn't mean anything at this point. This is why I love the second-hand market. You get to find out the real value, what people are keeping in their bags and what people are just chucking out because they can't hit it. And as the supply and demand go up and down, you can see which clubs are sought after and which aren't. And some of these are very interesting. You can pick up a Speed Zone for the same price as the F9. So just get the Speed Zone. Unless you love the aesthetics of the Speedback, the F9, the original, then by all means go and get the F9. No difference between the 2 of them, hence why I don't do new reviews anymore. But because there's going to be a lot of stock coming out of shops, because there's a lot of club fitting gear, I think you're going to be able to get a better deal on a Speed Zone driver than you're going to get on the original F9. So let's look at the prices. 245, 212 brand new. Why am I not finding these deals? These would make great videos. 212 brand new, and this was 4 days ago. Oh no, today. This is today. Cobra Speed Zone, that's ridiculous. What? Really? That can't be right. He must have cancelled that. There's no way he's let that go for 70 quid. So, there you have it. Driver, speed zone. Let's go into the Cobra Speed Back. F9 driver. Brand new 249. Let's go into the sold options. Newly listed. Brand new 245. Pre-owned 185. Brand new 245. 199. 230. 215. 205. 150. 178. So you can see 190. There's pretty much exactly no difference between the speed zone and what you can get. Don't get me wrong, you have to be in the right time, right place. I'm not saying you're going to be able to pick up a speed zone for 150. You'd have to be on eBay for 2 weeks, night and day, refreshing, newly listed, and just see someone list it as buy it now. Or you put a cheeky offer in and they accept it. All I'm saying is that if you had the choice between the F9 and the speed zone, you potentially just going to get a new paint job. It's going to be slightly newer, probably hasn't been hit as much. That's not gospel, but that's the way I look at it. Shaft options between the two were pretty much exactly the same. Hazardous smoke, phenomenal shaft. I highly recommend putting that in your driver if you're a big hitter. But overall, between the two of them, I just want you to say that F9 now is pretty much overrated. The speed zone, because the new one's now out, people are going to potentially have a lot of them. You're going to get a good deal. And a £200 mark, which is what I like doing reviews between the Epic Flash at £200, the F9 at £200, the Speed Zone at £200. You can see the Sim's now up here at £300. The Sim's not going to give you £100 more value than these three other drivers. That's when you can, for me anyway, you can start to do a realistic review and comparison between all of them. But anyway, there's Cobra, there's my thoughts on them. I'm going to do a quick bit on Ping, because obviously we've got the Ping G425 coming out. Ping are very good at phasing out clubs. For example, a club will always have like a 4-year lifetime with Ping. Therefore, you're never going to see a silly drop off because pro shops just won't sell it because they can still fit for it. The G400, in my eyes, is the best all-round club for any golfer. If I was never to see your swing handicap anything, I'd be like Ping G400. The shafts, the head, it just seems to work. You've got stuff in there for the good player. You've got stuff in there for people that can't even hit at 120 yards off the tee. Ping G400, and that's because of age. Again, if someone came to me for a lesson, can hit 120 yards tee, you're not spending £300 on a driver. You are practicing a lot more. But as I say, Ping are very good at phasing them out, and I'm going to quickly show you the prices. 330, 302. You might get the odd one around the £270 mark, again, if you're spending a lot of time on eBay. But the G425 isn't going to damage, just like the Sim 2 looks like it hasn't damaged the Taylormade stuff. They're still going to be very high priced and up there. G400 is still selling for £220. They just don't come, they don't drop off as much in terms of the price. So that's all I'm going to say about the Ping. They're going to hold their value. Very few people I'd fit for the Ping G410 over the G400 though. The G400 for me is just miles better of a driver for the average player. So the most underrated, undervalued driver of 2020 for me goes to the Mizuno ST200. Mizuno just can't sell drivers. I don't know why. I used to think it's because of the blue when it was in the ST180 or GT180. But now they've made it black. And it looks really good. And it performs just as well. And it sounds great. And they brought the price down to $349 to match the Cobra Speed Zone, not just as Taylormade like the Sim Max, no adjustable weighting. They brought the whole range down to $349 and still haven't sold that many, and it shows because there's a lot of stuff on there. Now I said that I can, or now the channel is where it is, it does influence the second-hand market, but there's enough of these Mizuno drivers about that you can go and pick one up, buy it now, brand new for a good price. Let's have a look. So just looking through some listings of this ST180, you can see how many are still about. So even golf clubs for cash, 229. If that was a speed zone, we're talking 280, 290. Brand new, 239. These aren't even sold listings, these are just normal ones. Brand new, 249. It's only been out a year. People are trying to get rid of it, and it's a really good driver in my eyes. I don't know why people don't look for it. Whether it's they just don't associate Mizuno with a good driver because they don't sponsor enough players on the tour to use it. But for your average golfer, and this is really important, the average golfer, yes, they tweak MOI, and yes, they tweak forgiveness, and yes, they tweak the face, but when you hit 80% of your shots out the toe, that forgiveness, the rest of it, the ball speed, whatever, that goes out the window. We're talking about very fine margins. I really enjoyed Rick's video on the Pro V1 that was 20 years old to the Pro V1 now. There's nothing in it. That's 20 years R&D, and that slight improvement, if anything, isn't going to help your scoring out on the golf course. A ball fitting, that would help your score on the golf course, but the technology side is just not there. You can see here 178, 180, 180. I'm not talking about spending half a month trying to find one of these drivers for a good price. They're out there. 199, okay, they were heads only, to be fair. 190, 180, 199 out of a shot or shaft choice. So you've got this one, which is brand new for 199. Outrageous deal for these. I think that might be the ladies version, to be fair, or is the weighting at the back non-adjustable. Again, there's a lot of these Mizuno drivers out there. If you don't want to spend £200, go to the ST180. £120, £130 these are selling for. Woods in general, would I say they're as good as a Ping G Series driver? No. I think the G Series would perform better because I think the weighting and overall head design is a lot more forgiving and isn't geared just for that one long shot. But if I was to decide between one of these and putting in a few more woods in the bag, or a brand new 2021 driver in the bag for your average golfer, it's a no-brainer. I'm not saying you're going to get a Speed Zone or an Epic Flash for £200. We're talking those come around once a week across the whole of eBay. What I am saying is that the prices are steadily coming down, and just be wary what these new product releases does to the second-hand market, and you might be able to get a good price for a club that you've been looking for a while. Taylormade is definitely holding its price. The Ping stuff definitely holding its price, and that ST200, for me, if you just want to get a driver tonight, tomorrow, next week for under £200 and you get 2020 technology, whatever that means nowadays, then there it is. Guys, if you like this video, leave it a like, subscribe if you're new. See you guys later.